Hi, Demi here. I'm covering the article 163 Million Missing Women, and I'm discussing the author's comparison between the gender imbalance epidemic and HIV/AIDS epidemic. So, to answer A, have you found all the research you think you will need at this point? I think I have a good amount of research, but it wouldn't hurt to find some more, because I found that every article, every piece of research that I find kind of brings new insight. And sometimes, yeah, they have similarities, but sometimes it'll bring something to my attention that I didn't really think of or consider as far as similarities and differences between the two. Because, you know, whenever I chose that, I was thinking, wow, okay, to me, HIV and AIDS epidemic versus the gender imbalance, that seems completely like polar opposites. Like, it just seems different to me. But then I kind of did concede and find some similarities, so I think finding more research would just add to that, or might even give me a different perspective. Have there been any major developments in my story article theme in the last year? Yes, because the article that I chose is from 2011, and the gender imbalance is only has changed since then. You know, there are more women missing, so to speak, and you know, places like China having the one-child policy, that plays a role as well, where, you know, if people feel, you know, they can only have one child, then they're gonna want that child to be a male, so that doesn't help the situation. C, how did you determine your thesis for your intro draft? I determined it by kind of okay, let me start over on that. My thesis, I took what I learned about HIV/AIDS and what I learned about the gender imbalance, and, you know, compared prevention and treatment and lifestyle, and saw how they're similar, like how they can be similar, but then also how they are different. And then I'm going to, in my paper, in the essay, kind of extrapolate on that, like how it is that they're similar and how it is that they are different. I don't feel confident that my thesis will stay exactly the same. I think it's a decent thesis, but if I'm always looking to improve, so if I kind of find something else that I think is a stronger point somewhere along the way, then I'm going to try to fit that into the thesis or change the wording of it. What has been the most astounding or disturbing information that I've discovered so far? It really is astounding, the number, like the magnitude of the gender imbalance. You know, the title of the article alone, 163 million women missing. You know, it's a large number, but whenever you actually think about it, you know, in the article it says if it were to be in the US, that's equivalent to there being no women in the United States. So, you know, there are populations and countries that don't even have that many people, let alone that many type of any gender, that let alone, you know, male or female. So I just, that really was astounding to me. It is disturbing too, because, you know, in countries where this is happening, men are preferred, and so it really happens because females don't have a lead or vital role really in, you know, the household and politics and stuff like that. So it's their culture, it's the way that they live, that's what they know. And because that's the case, because females are not preferred and they're quote unquote a waste, according to my article. They get aborted, you know, when expecting mothers go see the doctor and determine what gender they're having, the sex of their baby. Oftentimes if they find out that it's a female fetus, then they'll abort it because, you know, that maybe it's what the mother wants, but even if it's not what the mother wants, their society kind of they have a lot of pressure on them because the family kind of decides what's best, you know, like the husband or the husband's family too. So that's what I've found out. It's very interesting, but it's also disturbing, and I hope that definitely changes throughout time. So